What's up, everybody? It's Jordan, and welcome to the Sports Stu Hines Show. Robert Griffin III, ESPN analyst, he did his top 5 quarterback rankings in the AFC if Aaron Rodgers were to be traded to the New York Jets. And this list is absolutely terrible. It's had lots of controversy and lots of different opinions on Twitter, Instagram, and everything like that. So looking at this list here, this is just really a poor list by RG3. Looking at number 5 is Aaron Rodgers. Like I said, this would be if he would be traded to the New York Jets. I feel this is probably a good spot for Rodgers here. This past year, he took a huge decline in play. The 2 years prior, he was back-to-back MVP. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the league, but I feel like he's not what he used to be just from 3 or 4 years ago. But I feel like 5, if he were to be on the Jets, is probably about a good spot for Aaron Rodgers, maybe 4 or 5. I would kind of agree with that here for RG3, but literally, this number 1 spot is the only thing I agree with here on this list made by Robert Griffin III. I'm going to go down to 1 here, why I think this makes sense. Number 1 is Patrick Mahomes. I think Patrick Mahomes is by far the best quarterback in the league. It's not even close. I'm not biased. I feel like Burrow is not even close to Mahomes' level. I feel like Mahomes, just year in and year out, each time, you think he's going to have a bad year, he proves you wrong. This past season, some people do not think the Chiefs are going to win their own division. He has an amazing season, and he wins MVP, and he, leads Kansas City to a Super Bowl victory. But this is the right pick here for RG3. But 2, 3, and 4 are just very questionable rankings here on his quarterback list. Looking at number 2 here is Josh Allen. I just don't understand this at all. Heading into the 2022 season, if you wanted to have Josh Allen at number 2, I could get it. But after this past season, I just don't know how you could have Josh Allen ahead of Joe Burrow. That just does not make any sense to me, especially the last time you saw Josh Allen play and one of the last times you saw Joe Burrow play. When you look at that Buffalo Bills game and the Bengals game in the playoff game, that game was 100% full advantage to the Buffalo Bills. This was a home crowd for Buffalo. It was a snowy game. It was a really cold game. That game, benefits Buffalo. You would have thought, that game would have benefited Cincinnati because how well they played, how well Burrow played, just how poor Josh Allen played to me was really the crazy part. They're used to playing in cold weather, and he played absolutely terrible. And that's the last time you see him play, and you still think he's better than Burrow. I just don't understand that. But like I said, heading into this past season, I could get it. But at this point, it's really hard for me to see Josh Allen higher on quarterback list than Joe Burrow. So with, Josh Allen is number 2. Number 4 is Joe Burrow. That's kind of the crazy part here. There's no reason Burrow should not be number 2 in this list. The absolute farthest he should be in this list is 3, and that's even really pushing it there. But when you look at Burrow, there's no reason he should be number 4. It just doesn't make any sense to me. His excuse was he has too many weapons, basically. I feel like that's pretty stupid because even when you look at his rookie year, he had A.J. Green. He had rookie T. Higgins. He had Boyd. He was still able to make some really nice plays. He had some good games as well with a terrible offense line during the 2020 season. And, he's still able to play good when Jamar Chase went down. He made, Trent Irwin relevant. Trent Irwin heading into the season was not even a lock to make it on the team. He had more receiving touchdowns than Deontay Johnson, some of these other, star receivers as well. So I feel like Burrow here at number 4 is really stupid. But number 3 is what makes it absolutely crazy and just makes this list, 10 times more crazier. And number 3, he has Baltimore Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson. If this was literally just about any other quarterback in the AFC, I would not really care as much. But the fact that it's Lamar Jackson over Burrow is just so stupid and really a ignorant take by RG3. When you look at Lamar Jackson, everybody loves to point out his MVP performance from 2019. But since then, he's not done nothing. Look at all the quarterbacks who's, been drafted and is better than RG3 in my opinion. Jalen Hurts, Justin Herbert, Trevor Lawrence, Joe Burrow. 4 or 5 quarterbacks who have been drafted since then and are already better than Lamar Jackson. We're talking about a guy, Lamar Jackson, who is statistically a worse quarterback in the playoffs than Tim Tebow. I don't like Lamar Jackson, but the things I say about him are the truth. When you look at Jackson, the only thing that Lamar Jackson is better than Joe Burrow is he's a much more mobile and faster quarterback. He quits in his team more, and he's much more injury prone. Lamar Jackson is not even a top 10 quarterback. So I don't get how you could possibly have him above Joe Burrow, who's been to the AFC Championship game each of the last 2 seasons, why Lamar Jackson is just 1-3. RG3's excuse for Lamar Jackson was he has no weapons, which I've said this so many times when you look at Baltimore. They prioritize tight ends. They'll prioritize a backup tight end before they, prioritize their wide receiver number one. They love to run the ball. It's a certain scheme that they have. They do not value wide receivers like any other team in the league. And when you look at this Ravens team, they have talent. It's just, he's not been able to use the best of his talent the past 2 years. I don't know how you could possibly have Lamar Jackson ahead of Joe Burrow. Like I said, Patrick Mahomes, he's better than Burrow. Josh Allen, I don't really understand it either, but you can make a more of a case than Josh Allen being above Burrow than Lamar Jackson. Looking at this top 5 quarterback list here from RG3, if Aaron Rodgers gets traded to the New York Jets, number 5 was Aaron Rodgers, number 4 was Joe Burrow, number 3 was Lamar Jackson, number 2 was Josh Allen, and number 1 was Patrick Mahomes. Comment your thoughts on RG3's really poor list here with the top 5 quarterbacks in the AFC if Rodgers gets traded to the New York Jets. But that about does it for this video. If you're new to the channel or you've seen my videos before, I really, really appreciate it. If you like this video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all next time on the Sports Dude Hunt Show.